Are you looking to expand your reach and your platform? Do you want to be really well known? In today's video, I'll share a proven model that will help you achieve your dreams of becoming well known. Check it out. When you're well known, you can generate more revenue, help more people, and easily accomplish your personal goals, like greater confidence, more recognition, and freedom. Being well known also greatly increases the chances you get asked on other people's podcasts. You get invited to speak on live stages, and you get offered lucrative book deals. But how in the world do you get there? Is there a proven roadmap? Yes, there is. I'll share a 6-step method to get you there right now, and it's called the Dreams Method. How in the world did I come up with this model? I have been mentoring, coaching, and advising a lot of people you might know. I had a chance to be there very early with a lot of experts as they were rising up to becoming very well known. If you follow this plan, it will accelerate your growth and reduce your risk of failure. Now, let's go talk about my step-by-step process known as the Dreams Method. Follow me. All right, we're here to talk about the Dreams Method, and the very first letter is D, depict. When you think about the word depict, you might think of a depiction, and I want you to picture who you want to become. I want you to imagine a storyboard for yourself in your future. There's 5 questions you want to ask in the depict phase. First, why do you want to become well known? Second, what are your big dreams and aspirations? Third, what could hold you back? Fear, uncertainty, imposter syndrome. Fourth, what could you achieve if you overcame these roadblocks? Number 5, how could this transform your life and your business if you were able to become well known? For example, I dream of helping a lot more people become really well known. My roadblock is that I've always done this privately. I've always done it one-on-one behind the scenes with certain individuals. And I'm not known for this. And that's a struggle that I have to overcome. So I knew that I needed to do something different to show my audience that I had more to offer them. The big opportunity, the big goal for me is that I know that in my unique way, I can help change the world by allowing more people to get their message out there and allow them to have a bigger impact. Stage 2 is research. This is a very important step in the process that most people skip to their demise. There's 2 parts to this process: researching who your ideal audience is and researching who your competition is. When it comes to your audience, there's a couple of questions you want to ask. Who do you want to reach? What are their struggles and frustrations? And which challenges can you help them with? The second part is focusing on your competitors. Who are your competitors? What are their strengths? And how can you be different? During this phase of my research, I started by posting questions on Instagram of just my fans. Then I got on the phone with 10 of my customers and I had 45-minute conversations with them. Then I followed it up with a detailed survey where I interviewed almost 300 of my customers and asked them what their biggest struggles were. Throughout this entire process, I was developing enormous amounts of data, getting to know who my ideal customer is so that I could use that information as we went further down the trail in the Dreams Method. Nothing like the smell of a dry erase marker in the morning. The third phase is the experiment phase. Unfortunately, this is another one of those parts of the process that too many people skip to their peril. In this phase, you experiment with your message in front of your ideal audience. The key word here is experiments. The goal here is to run low friction experiments, track the right signals, and continue to run experiments until something connects. The way I started experimenting is I began showing up on other people's podcasts, talking about the concepts of becoming well-known.
Michael, say what's up to Fire Nation.
I was watching to see what kind of reactions I got from the hosts of the show, and also whether or not people interacted with me on social after they listened to my podcast appearances. Depict, research, experiment, and augment. To augment means to improve or to make better. Just imagine augmented reality where you're looking through glasses and it's layering on more on top of what your vision sees. The augment phase involves taking the messages that pass through the experimental phase and developing them into something greater. This is where you develop your core message and your talking points, come up with your own process or method, find examples either from your own experience or from others that help convey your message, and also this is where you develop your content and your social strategy. For example, I was able to take all the data that I had from my research and my experimental phase, coupled it with all the experience that I've had privately mentoring individuals for years, and then explain it in a very simple method that I'm explaining to you today, known as the DREAMS method. Depict, research, experiment, augment, and the fifth stage is make. The problem is that most people jump straight from the depict phase to the make phase, and that is a mistake. No wonder things don't work. They're skipping over the research and the experiments and the augmenting really critical stages for success. And they try things, it doesn't work, and they say, oh, at least I tried. They're not following the process. They haven't been given a process. They don't know the right way, but now you do. The make phase is where you make a name for yourself. How do you do that? You do that by making great content and making sure that you show up on a regular basis. And by the way, little aside, this doesn't need to take up all of your time. If you're smart about this, you can accomplish this with a minimal investment of your limited resource, your time. Let me review 4 different kinds of content that you can make. First is podcasting. You don't need to start your own podcast. You could simply show up on other people's podcasts and be a guest. Secondly, video. Think of stories, think of IGTV, think of YouTube, think of Facebook Watch. Every conceivable platform has video out there. All of them represent opportunities for you, some easier and some harder. How about the written word? How about starting a blog? How about writing on an existing platform like LinkedIn? How about going to someone else's blog and offering to write content for them? Speaking is yet another example. You can speak on webinars, you can speak on panels, you can moderate panels, and of course you can do solo sessions. Now I know you're like, how in the world could I do all of this? Well, the key is you don't have to do it all. You have to decide where your gifts lie. If you're a writer, then maybe you should create written content. If you're a good verbal communicator, then maybe you should show up on podcasts or in front of a live audience. And if you're good on camera, then maybe you should do video. Decide, pick an area of focus, start there, and then expand. In the make phase is where you're gonna see the payoff of all of your hard work. Why are you gonna see the payoff? Because first of all, you have depicted exactly what it is you want to achieve. You have researched who you want to reach, and you know who your competitors are. You have also done experiments and you know what messages connect and what messages do not connect. Then you've augmented, which is creating that deeper, more developed message. Now you're ready to show up in the world. And when you show up in the world and you get in front of the right audience, they will connect with your message. Here's an example. I've been getting in front of the camera a lot over the last few months, and all of the content for all of those videos came through the entire DREAMS model. And it's what allowed me to speak with confidence, knowing that this message would connect with people just like you. Depict, research, experiment, augment, make. And the S, the final stage of the process, is the synchrony phase. In this phase, you begin working with other people, even your competitors. Yes, you heard me right, your competitors, should be people that you work with at this phase, because when you can collaborate in a win-win-win environment where it's good for you, it's good for your collaborator, and it's also good for the audience, you can take things to the next level. The key in this phase is to identify the right people that you want to work with and to begin developing strong relationships with them. The DREAMS model involves depict, research, experiment, augment, make, and sync. If you follow this entire process, it will greatly increase the likelihood that you will become well known. Does this sound interesting to you? If so, I've merely tapped the surface of what the DREAMS model is and how it could work for you. If you want to go deeper with me, I have a brand new course called, surprise, surprise, Becoming Well Known. Check it out by clicking the card you see here on the screen or in the description. Learn my proven system and let me help you unlock your dreams of becoming well known.